Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play New Super Mario Bros. DS. I've got a bit of a broken controller, so that's going to be interesting for today. We're going to start in World 5 today, and I have a bit of a loud audio going on here. So World 5, it's the snow world. I don't really know what to say about it other than I don't like it. I'm not a huge fan. I don't actively dislike it. I don't really actively dislike any world in this game. They're all at least somewhat decent, but some are better than others, and this is definitely not one of the ones that's better than others. It's fun. It's all right, but it's just a little annoying and boring at the same time. Can you be annoying and boring at the same time? I don't know, can you? Now that I ask that, I don't know the answer, because I think by default, when you are annoying, you are definitely not boring. And when you're boring, well, does that work both ways? I think that just by definition has to work both ways, doesn't it? I don't know what I'm talking about. You guys should know that by now. If you're in for this channel and you're in for a long ride, you should know that I have no idea what I'm talking about, 90% of the time. And today's no exception, because it's been a long day, and I figured let's go record some Mario, which might have not been the best idea, and I can't get out from under the snow. Because, again, been a long day, and usually after a long day my commentary goes to very weird places. But I'm thinking it might be a good thing, because weird commentary usually is interesting, right? That's how that works? I don't know. We're going to do most of the World 5 today, and I am already starting to think about what I'm going to do after this series ends, because that's not going to be too long from now. The first two episodes maybe even, have gone up as of me recording this. So, and of course I get a response on my texts the moment I start recording, because I fucking always do. Oh, that's not good. My stuck button, I said my controller is broken. One of the buttons on it is stuck, but the button that's stuck is actually a jump button. So it's entirely possible and kind of likely that I will be... No. That I'll be jumping in places where I can't jump, and I think, yeah, one of these is a one-up, and I don't really give a shit about that. I'll jump in places where I don't want to jump. That's entirely possible, and fairly likely that that'll actually happen because of the stuck button. Let's fire flower it up. I did get a suggestion as to not use power-ups in this playthrough, but I got that suggestion after the first episode was uploaded, and right now I think this is episode 8 ? Is it 8? Is it 9? It's somewhere along those lines. So I'm not going to change this into a challenge run halfway through, even though I really do like that idea. And I am so bad anyway that half the time I don't even have power-ups as it is anyway. I get that the point of a challenge run like that is that you need to be good enough not to get hit for the entirety of the game, and also dodge power-ups, because sometimes it's very... That was a pro move. Sometimes it's actually difficult not to pick up a mushroom. But this is also, again, I've said this before, it's also probably the easiest Mario game ever made. I'm thinking, is there an easier Mario game than this? Maybe 64, but to 100% 64 is actually probably more difficult than to 100% this game. But to just get to the end, to see the credits roll, maybe 64 is easier. I'm not just saying that because you can backwards long jump into oblivion. No. A shell, I like shells. It's probably not very good for this level, but I like shells. That does not give you invincibility against the spike balls. I thought it might. Would have been very overpowered if it did, but it was worth checking. It wasn't worth checking because I'm gonna die. All kidding aside though, I do actually like this level. There's a very fun mini castle where you can, if you look around you a little bit, you can pretty much tell where balls are going to come from and where they're going to leave. And you don't really want to hit the dry bones too much, because if you hit a dry bones, it won't actually get taken out by the spike balls. So rather than that, you want to avoid them and have the spike balls take them out, because otherwise there's a very good chance that you'll end up in a situation where you have a lot of dry bones, which kind of like ruins your places to be, and that then in turn gets you killed. So I do like the idea there. I just didn't think that would happen. I don't know why I didn't think that would happen, because obviously that would happen if you ground pound a blocked power up, gets spit out in the bottom, where I couldn't reach it. So that didn't really help me at all. So I guess we're doing this as a challenge run, like I mentioned. We're doing this as a small Mario, this entire castle. To be fair, if there's any castle where small Mario is not really an issue, it's probably this one. Yeah, that's on me. God damn it, god damn it, god damn it. Okay, this is scary. I'm going to still say that if there's any... I have itchy toe, so itchy, so itchy. Okay, that's my toe's fault. That's the fault of my toe. That's not my fault. That was my toe. Which is a real weird thing to blame a death in a video game on, but it's true. I'm telling you, it's true. It's my toe that killed me. That's potentially the first time in human history that sentence has been uttered. It's my toe that killed me. I don't think people like have ever said that before. Do you think about that sometimes? Like there are strings of words which form a coherent, like grammatically correct sentence. So, in other words, there are sentences which probably nobody's ever said before. And maybe, without even realizing it, you've said one of them. You might have been the first one to say a certain combination, like a certain sentence. You might have been the first one to say it out loud without even realizing what you were doing. As such, related, this is something I saw in like a meme post. But every day on this planet we call Earth, there is somebody out there that takes the biggest poop of that day on the entire planet. And he or she doesn't realize it, probably. Would you? I feel like, actually, now that I think about it, I feel like if you made the biggest poop on the planet for that day, you'd at least think, like, wow, that's a big poop. Right? You wouldn't just, like, go on with your day, because it's the biggest on the entire planet. So, by default, it's gotta be, like, fucking, like... It's gotta be fucking huge. So, you've gotta, like, maybe not worry about it, but it's gotta be something you notice, surely. Do you notice it in a way like, oh, that's definitely the biggest poop for, like, today on Earth? Probably not in that way, but you notice it's a big poop. These are the kind of things that keep me awake at night. They're really fucking silly, that's what it is. We can do another level before we end up the episode. We can't do 2, maybe? Maybe we can? I'm going to try to speedrun this level so that we can do 2. So far, that seems to be fairly easily done. Okay, that was my mistake. This level just... Oh my goodness, oh my... Okay, there go all my power-ups. But we're also halfway through the level, so I think we're going to do both this level and the next level before we end up this episode, because this is not taking very long at all. It's a very fun and satisfying level to do, though. And come on. I'm not sure that was originally like a design intention that you could clip through walls like that. But I feel like by the time they made this level, they just figured out like, you know what, we're not going to fix that bug. We're going to make it a game, like a level design thing in certain levels. So we don't have to fix the bug. I kind of feel like that's the entire reason this level exists. just to make sure that bug is not actually a bug, but a feature. And honestly, that's a genius way of designing a game. If a bug is being annoying, instead of putting in a lot of time and resources to fixing the bug, you can just theme a level around the bug and then say it's a feature. Unless it's very game-breaking, obviously. If it's very game-breaking, you don't want to do that. But if it's just something like clipping through the wall like that, I'm not entirely like certain that is the way things went down, but it kind of does feel that way. So it wouldn't surprise me if that were the case. Do you like... Oh my god, you're still there. I was gonna say, do you like despawn? Because if you do, I might be screwed. I think that's just like a extra secret area. This game really like... Is it Arkham Razor, which is a thing in philosophy, which has usually, when there's multiple solutions to a problem, the easiest one is the correct one. I think that's a philosophy thing. I think that is also a thing a lot of people use in like scientific arguments, but I think it originally is a philosophy thing, because science doesn't necessarily like follow that rule all the time. I think. I'm not a scientist, but it feels that like that is not a very scientific way of looking at the world. I do feel like, I mean, philosophy is like just a precursor to science, right? Before we could measure things, it was just philosophy, and then we got the ability to measure things, and then philosophy and science split. But still, science is just philosophy with more numbers. In a way. Does that make any sense? Am I making any sense to any of you? I probably am making like no sense to anybody. Can you... Oh, I can't jump, so this is just annoying. Oh my... I need to jump. Okay, so now you're going to go up very quickly, I think, right? When we get to this part? No, you're not. I just need to remember this thing going up very, very quickly. Yeah, exactly like that, actually. And that might be the end of this level already. You can't kill a ghost. That's the end of this level. Are we going to do yet another level in this episode? Are we going to do the entirety of World 5 in this episode without optional levels, that is? I think we are, because I started this recording a little bit late, or this episode a little bit late into the recording. I just like fucked around for like 2 minutes, so we're not even close to 15 minutes, and we only have 2 levels to go, I think. So, we are doing the entirety of World 5 today. Which means that next episode we're going into World 6, and then we have to redo the boss fight of World 5, but with a mini mushroom, which is going to be significantly more annoying to do than it was for World 2. Because... Also, this is an auto-scrolling level. I hate those levels. Because there's no mini-mushroom in the actual level, unlike in World 2, where there was a mini-mushroom in the level. Yeah, that was the case in this world, I don't think. So, bear with me here for a moment while I try to focus on not dying. Look, the whole idea about Mario... Well, not the whole idea about Mario. This is something you usually say about Sonic, but I'd be inclined to say this about Mario too. The whole idea is that you can, like, platform through these levels with a certain amount of, like, momentum and inertia. Auto-scrolling levels fuck with that so much. I don't think I've ever seen a good auto-scrolling level in a Mario game. I think they don't exist, because it goes counter to the design of the game. Especially, oh, you need a mini mushroom for this as well. Especially the new Super Mario Bros. Series. The older ones, maybe a little bit less. Especially Super Mario Bros. 1, the original Super Mario Bros. 1 for the NES. Yeah, that doesn't work. I figured that might work. It didn't. That one, playing a little bit more slow and methodical, yeah. Especially since you can't walk back to the left in that version. You can in the remake of that game, I think you can still walk to the left. Can you? I'm not entirely sure that you can, actually, now that I say it. You might not be able to in the All-Star remake version. I think it's for the SNES, but there's also one on the Wii for the 25-year anniversary of Mario. they released Super Mario All-Stars on the Wii, which is the version I know, but I think it's literally just like the SNES game without anything added at all. But we're almost at the end of the level, and now we are actually like at a point where I could end off the episode if I wanted to, timing-wise. And honestly, I think I might. I might just like do the boss fight next episode, because I don't remember how long this castle is. We'll do it next episode. Until then, don't forget to leave a like. I was going to stop doing that. I've been Vlogger, you've been awesome. As always, bye.